The 70s were just underway, and the social and political climate in New Orleans was changing. Mayor Moon Landrieu was hiring African Americans in management positions at City Hall, and they were making the most of it. Norman Francis and a few other African American leaders saw this time as a period of opportunity, and the Liberty Vision took life.
There were a lot of changes, of course, that were taking place, and the one that I think had been talked about in New Orleans and among blacks is we need to get a minority bank.
You had Moon Landrieu, who was the mayor, who hired the first set of African Americans in management leadership for the most part to run the city. It was a turn of the community sort of coming together to build itself or to brand itself to greatness.
The stories vary slightly, but both men agree that when Dr. Francis first approached Alden McDonald about running this new bank, he turned him down.
He said, "No, I can't do that." He said, I'm working, at the bottom of the ladder. I said, "I know that, but there's a ladder, and you can go up, and this is your chance."
I'd only been in banking 6-7 years, and felt that I was still new to the business.
According to McDonald, his future wife, a novena, and Dr. Francis' refusal to take no for an answer would finally change his mind.
He said, "I understand what you're saying, but I think you are sharp enough and smart enough, and you're exactly what we need in order to run this bank, and I'm not going to leave here with another no answer."
With McDonald on board, the Liberty Bank vision became a reality, and in 1972, Liberty Bank opened its doors in a trailer on Tulane Avenue with a little more than $2 million in assets.
We had a good team of people. We started the bank with 7 people. We had a total staff of 7 operating out of a trailer.
Liberty's first decade would ride the wave of change, and while they weren't knocking it out of the park yet, the bank would stay in the black.
Most banks do not make money for the first 3 years of its operation. We made money.
When they would compare Liberty to Liberty's customers to other, quote, small banks, it seemed like we were just cashing checks because nobody else in our portfolio where we were trying to build a bank had large money to put in.
African Americans continued to make strides in the political and business arena, and the election of Dutch Morial would be the start of 4 decades of African American leadership in City Hall.
Dutch Morial, who was also a board member of the bank, decided to run for public office and succeeded. A lot of African Americans began participating in the political process. Now, we participated in the political process, we had some voting power, but we had no money. I got to see where an economic engine such as a financial institution was very, very important.
Between 1972 and the mid-'80s, Liberty would continue to do well, but the oil bust was just around the corner, and it would test Liberty's endurance, not to mention their banking savvy.
First year we lost money was in 1987, 1988, and 1989. I remember those years very well. And those years represents the Louisiana oil bust.
Having survived, Liberty Bank faced the 90s and the next decade with anticipation and an eye on expansion. And the bank would become a major player in the mortgage business, creating new and innovative affordable housing financing for their customers.
Housing was something that always stuck with me. And at one point, right after the oil bust years, we really got into it real heavy. We got to be so good at it. We got to be known on a national level. We had Fannie Mae to come by and to say, "Hey, whatever it is that you're doing, we want to learn more about it."
Liberty Bank would also establish itself as one of the city's most responsible corporate citizens. And since it didn't have the marketing budget the big banks had, Liberty's community service work would also become its marketing tool.
We put together, for example, a Support Our Schools program. We put together a raffle, a citywide raffle, that involved close to 100 schools, and we gave away an automobile. But we had our name on all 500,000 tickets.
By the year 2000, Liberty Bank was closing in on 30 years. Liberty Bank had become the 3rd largest community bank in the U.S. But in 2005, Hurricane Katrina would be a game changer.
The disaster, Katrina, knocked all of the infrastructure for communications out.
I guess his crowning glory was coming out of Katrina. There was just no way we should have survived.
But McDonald felt an obligation to his customers, and he would rally his troops and begin the long, hard journey of bringing his bank back.
We not only gave our customers the support they needed during a crisis period of time, we gave them hope.
Liberty Bank would survive. In fact, Katrina would be a catalyst for a period of tremendous growth for the bank.
The following year, after Katrina, was the most profitable year in the history of our company.
He did so well with Liberty Bank during the tough times, and the reputation that he earned, that the FDIC called him and said, look, there's a minority bank in such and such a place that we think you can help. You may want to buy.
Liberty Bank has grown to 18 branches in 6 states and $575 million in assets. Looking back on those 40 years, McDonald says without hesitation that Liberty owes its success to the community that believed in the little bank that started in a trailer on Tulane Avenue.
And without the people who supported us over the last 40 years, without our great staff, without our great board, we would not have been as successful as we are without all of the support from all of the community. And we say to the many thousands of people who have supported us in the last 40 years, we thank you. We thank you for allowing us to do the job that we've done on your behalf in building this community and helping people, and to build a better and a more prosperous community, and to improve life for all of us.